Once again, welcome to Market Movers, your premier business and economy show. I'm your host, Osai Iloman, and today we delve into a topic that resonates deeply with Nigeria's economic landscape. You will agree with me that our nation faces multifaceted challenges, from inflation and debt burdens to unemployment and poverty rates. But amidst these adversities, we want to possibly spotlight a beacon of hope: neuro-linguistic language programming. Now, as you may know, inflation remains a pressing concern, affecting purchasing power and economic stability. The government's reliance on oil revenue has led to budgetary constraint, necessitating increased apprehension and borrowing from international markets. Foreign exchange volatility and multiple exchange rates continues to create uncertainty for businesses. Again, unemployment persists, especially among the youths, while poverty affects a significant portion of our population. Most intriguingly, decayed physical infrastructure hampers economic growth, and inadequate energy access affects and compounds the challenges that the Nigerian people are faced with on a daily basis. In all of this, can neuro-linguistic language programming be the solution? On the program today, we will turn to Coach Didi, a renowned life development specialist, master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, and mental first aider, for answers. But before then, we will receive Madema Ogo, our product analyst, to share with us her findings on zonal business and economy reports. It's going to be an insightful edition, and I urge you not to go anywhere, as we'll be right back after the news roundup.
The Monetary Policy Committee (MPC) of the Central Bank of Nigeria has raised interest rates benchmark in an aggressive tightening spree for the third time since Olayemi Cardoso took over as governor of the Apex Bank. At the end of its two-day meeting on Tuesday, 12 members of the MPC voted to raise the MPR by 150 basis points to 26.25% from 24.75%, while leaving other policy parameters constant. The committee's decisions were based on Nigeria's constantly rising headline inflation, driven by food inflation. The nation's Statistics Bureau recently released data that showed that the headline inflation grew by 23.69% in April. The price of automotive gas oil, popularly called diesel, produced by the Dangote Petroleum Refinery has increased from 940 naira per litre to 1,100 naira per litre due to the crash of the naira against the United States dollar. It was gathered on Tuesday. All marketers stated that the hike in diesel price by the $22 billion worth refinery located in Ekpe, Lagos, was due to the recent southward movements of the naira against the dollar. The federal government has approved a $750 million World Bank funding for the construction of 1,200 mini-grids in rural communities across Nigeria. According to Abba Aliyu, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Rural Electrification Agency, President Bola Tinubu approved the fund for the distributed access through Renewable Energy Scale-up project, which aimed at providing energy access to Nigerians in rural communities. Aliyu noted that about 17 million of the 85 million Nigerians without access to energy would be provided electricity under the scheme. Members of the organized private sector and economists have expressed fear over the latest hike in the nation's benchmark interest by the Monetary Policy Committee, saying the decision could significantly hamper economic operators' ability to repay their loans. At the end of its 295th meeting on Tuesday, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, who also doubles as the chairman of the MPC, announced the decision of the committee. The MPC raised the interest rate by 150 basis points to 26.25% from 24.74%. The 14th Emir of Kano and former Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Alhaji Lamido Sanusi, former Deputy Governor of Central Bank Kingsley Moghalu, and Professor Magnus Kpako will lead discussion on the Rivers State Investment Summit, slated to be held on 22nd and 23rd May 2024. Rivers State Commissioner for Information and Communication, Barrister Joseph Johnson, who spoke to journalists in Port Harcourt on Monday on the lineup of activities for the event, said Kingsley Moghalu will chair day one of the events with Professor Magnus Kpako as co-chairman. The Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency has recovered over 145 million naira from different commercial banks and electricity distribution companies that have infringed on consumers' rights. The agency's general manager, Mr. Afolabi Solebo, revealed this while fielding questions to newsmen during the celebration of the International Day of the Boy Child organized by Wellspring College over the weekend. The Nigerian stock market exhibited a bullish trend on Tuesday, May 21st, 2024, with the all-share index edging up by 0.11% to close at 98.285.33 points. Market capitalization also increased marginally to 55.60 trillion naira. Bargain hunting in select medium and large-scale stocks, including Nestle and Fidelity Bank, contributed to the positive sentiment. However, market activities declined, with total volume traded down by 45.05% and total value traded down by 23.02%. The all-share index appreciated by 107.45 basis points, representing a rise of 0.11%. It gained 60.92 billion, growing by 0.11% to close at 55.60 trillion naira. Total volume traded reduced by 45.05%, while total value traded decreased by 23.02%. Beja 9.96%, Nestle 9.76%, and Sovereignies 8.11% led the gainers chart. Intenergenes 9.70% and Deep Cap 8.33% were among the decliners. The market's breadth closed flat with 20 gainers and 20 losers. Consumer goods 0.79% and banking 0.16% sectors gained, while insurance 0.38% declined. Industrial and oil and gas sectors remained flat. Investors should approach the markets cautiously, considering the recent interest rate hike by the Apex Bank. The upcoming Treasury bills auction results and MPC meeting will influence markets' direction.
Thank you for staying with us on Market Movers this beautiful day. I have Madima Ogo, our product analyst, with me here in the studio to look at her zonal business and economy report. Madima, welcome to the studio. What do you have for us?
Thank you very much, Mr. Sai, for having me. Thank you. Tomato, one of the most valuable food plants in the market, is botanically called Solanium lycopersicule and popularly or locally named tomatoes. Fresh tomatoes, as we call it, is produced majorly in the northern parts of Nigeria, Jigawa, Kano State, Katsina, and a lot more. It could be served also as staple foods in Nigeria. The market involves various arms, including farmers, traders, processors, and consumers. Speaking on the market overview, the tomato market in Kano State, Nigeria, is estimated to be $207.17 billion in our current time and is expected to reach $261.41 billion by 2029 and growing at a compound annual rate of 4.76% during the forecast period. This market contributes importantly to the local economy by providing income to farmers, traders, and processors. Additionally, government initiatives supporting enhanced agricultural production are anticipated to raise tomato production levels in their regions. The marketing overview. Today, fresh tomato marketers play a crucial role in connecting producers with consumers. The factors influencing marketing efficiency include educational levels, access to credit, and sales volume. Marketing strategies should focus on reducing wastage and improving distribution channels. Customer perception for local and international markets. The consumer perception drives purchasing decisions. However, using the Kanu model, businesses can identify basic performances and excitement attributes.
So I needed to quickly interject at this point. You know, looking at tomato market, you mentioned that is valued at about 209.17 billion by
2029.
Yeah. So I'm just imagining, you know, yes, I understand that your report is from Kano State, but we also understand that there are some states like Plateau,
Jigawa State, Katsina, Niger.
Okay.
Yes. Now this is like a total encompassing calculation.
Yes.
Of what the overview is going to look like.
Yeah.
What the revenue ahead of time is going to look like.
Now, but there is a challenge. There's, you know, coming into the studio, I received a news report that in Lagos State, for instance, there was some issues regarding the association of tomato producers to the point that the over 90 crates of tomato got destroyed.
Were lost.
Yes, were lost as a result of, you know, issues that has to do with processing, storage, and all that. So my point is, how is these states within Nigeria are positioning themselves to actually take a chunk of these 209.17 billion by 2029?
That's right. It's a thing of communicating with the government as a whole, because most of the lapses in between, or most of the reasons why they are having this default are because they don't even have, because they lack adequacy to the production of these things, or to the reason for the cost of
they lack storage facilities.
That's right.
They lack adequate production equipment, and essentially the distribution channel also is a problem, because I understand that from the farm to the market, there is issue around transportation.
Yes.
All right.
In terms of logistics.
Yes.
Moving from one point to another. So currently in our country today, you know, we keep complaining of the transitions, you know, the use of roads and all of that. So now when these facilities, of course, these are basic requirements or infrastructure.
Yeah, and that was one of the reports that we received yesterday, that Lagos State, you know, is working on the Blue Rail project. Yes. And of course, yesterday as well, there was a report that we received that Abuja, the FCT administration, is also working to launch their Blue Line Rail project as well. So I think going back to this report, because the issue particularly to prepare our farmers and our producers to be able to take a chunk of this, because I'm interested in the numbers, all right, to take a chunk of this $209.17 billion size of the tomato market, then some of this infrastructure needs to be readily available, from transportation to storage facilities and others. So what else do you have in the report?
Right down on the report, fresh tomato marketers play a crucial role in connecting producers with the consumers. Yeah. And of course, on the overview of the challenges that we find out, we see that post-harvest losses, you know,
which is a function of some of these
exactly
unavailability of some of these infrastructures.
exactly
Okay.
happen basically. So inadequate storage facilities leading to spoilage and reduced market supply. Of course, this is as a result of one of those constraints. Also, having a poor road network largely can be a very huge factor, which is a very big problem to
the farmers
exactly
and the producers
because of these situations.
Product.
That's right. Okay, so let's talk on the infrastructure currently in our country. I have always been one solicitor, speaking to the government to say we lack industries, we lack, this production unit sort of. And now, if we have a group of people, if we have people who already are lovers of this production, the farmers, the processors, and all of that. So don't you think it's the right time that the government begins to look for a very good environment for this to be taken out rightly, properly? For example, creating factories.
Yeah, so I think we are having a report that some states like Kebbi and Kano, where you are picking your report from, are working together to set up some tomato processing factories. I want to believe that they will be able to go all the way in ensuring, because one of the challenges we have over time is government commits to doing a thing, but stop short.
They start and then they just stop at the middle point.
Exactly.
So, but I think because this is a market that everyone uses, this is a product everyone uses, so it's something that should be properly aligned. I had to sit back.
So but let me ask you, as a lady, I understand you use tomato paste
every time.
Do you use locally produced tomato paste or foreign produced tomato paste?
Both ways. You could use the foreign, you could use locally produced, depending on how tasty you want your meal to be. Yeah. So but this is we trying to say that the instead of we having a foreign produced tomato, we should have a tomato production right here in our country, like a tomato production hub where we produce everything concerning tomato, be it from fresh use down to the pastry section, down to the pastry procession or something like that. So we should have a factory where we produce this very market.
Well, process the tomato into tomato paste and other products.
Exactly. This can actually serve as a means of job creations for the youth out there, because I could imagine you saying, since we already have the farmers, now the farmers go through and they get enrolled or registered.
So what is your recommendation from your findings now? From your findings, from the Yankasai market in Kano State about this tomato and there's so much waste that is occurring within that market. What is your recommendation to the government?
My recommendation to the government is that they should take this really seriously, make it a more enhanced and developed format, sort of, because when we get it right, there you see that you're going to save cost and you're going to satisfy the needs and wants or demands of the people.
And that goes to the heart of the introduction of today's program, where we mentioned the fact that there is increasing unemployment among the youths, which is exacerbating a lot of insecurity challenges and youth juvenile delinquencies and vices, and as the case may be. So, but thank you very much for your report. It's an insightful one. We look forward to your report on, when again, that should be Friday.
Yes.
That you'll be coming up with another report on zonal and business economy with focus on products that are gaining the market and are providing solutions to Nigeria and Nigerians, and of course, that is becoming globally competitive. We want to go for a quick break, then we'll come back with our guest for today, the person of Coach Didi, and Dr. Godfrey Ajayi Sunday to look at neuro-linguistic programming as a potential solution to some of the crises that we are having as individuals. Of course, don't forget that as individuals, we make up Nigeria, we make up the country known as Nigeria. And so the ability of us to be able to put ourselves together and create relevant solutions to local problems, we might not be making the progress that we all desire. I'll see you after this short break.
ADBN Smartphone Film Workshop.
Are you a young adult with a passion for storytelling and content creation? Do you reside in the Niger Delta and desire to become a filmmaker or content creator?
Then you should register for the ADBN Smartphone Film Workshop, an exciting opportunity brought to you by ADBN TV. Embark on a journey to unlock your creative potential by learning the art of filmmaking, sound design, and lighting using your smartphone. This is your chance to turn your ideas into reality. So hurry now and register via our website at www.adbntv.com. But wait, that's not all. Your creations will be aired on ADBN TV, channel 258 on DSTV, 140 on StarTimes, Avo TV app, Limex World TV app, and Ninja TV app, reaching audiences far and wide. And guess what? 3 lucky winners will be selected for the grand cash prize of 5 million naira.
Meet our facilitators.
Register now at www.adbntv.com and take the first step towards a future in filmmaking and content creation. ADBN Smartphone Film Workshop. Unleash your creativity.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
Ready for some exciting news? ADBN just launched its very own WhatsApp channel. Join our community for exclusive updates straight to your phones. Here's how. Open your WhatsApp and go to the Updates tab. Tap the plus icon and select Find Channel. Search for ADBN TV and hit follow. Don't forget to turn on notifications for the latest updates. Your support means the world to us because at Advocate Broadcasting Network, we're not just a media outlet, we're a part of you.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
Thank you for staying with us on Market Movers this beautiful day. We're going to be looking at a topic we call From Crisis to Confidence, how NLP, Neuro-linguistic language programming, can become a beacon of hope to many Nigerians. You will agree with me that the circumstances socio-economically that we face are quite enraging, and we all are looking for solutions where possible. And today on the show, we have someone that is going to be introducing us to a possible solution to how you can better manage yourself, manage your family, manage your business, and eventually manage the country. So I have in the studio Coach Didi. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. It's good to
Thank
be
you
here.
for joining us. Then I also have joining us virtually our business and economy analyst, Dr. Godfrey Ajayi Sunday. Is Doctor on the show at the moment? Okay, so we'll get back to Dr. Godfrey, but let me come to you very quickly. What is neuro-linguistic? You know, somehow pronouncing the neuro-linguistic becomes
neuro-linguistic programming, NLP for short.
Exactly.
NLP.
So what is it about?
NLP is also called the psychology of excellence. It's basically your thinking, linguistic, your words, and programming your pattern, your behavior, how they are all connected. Because how you think affects your speech. What you say affects your habits. It's as simple as that.
So how do you connect that, what you think, what you say, and
how you feel,
how does that, contribute to possibly becoming a solution to the problem of Nigerians that are faced, with differing socio-economic problems on a per second basis?
Well, you see, the thing is that your ability to function as a person has a lot to do with your thought pattern.
Okay.
For example, mental health is how you think, how you feel, and how you behave as well. So an NLP is how you think, the language you use, and your behavior. Now, there's something called presuppositions in NLP, basically like the beliefs in NLP. And one of them is that there's a solution to every problem. So if you have a mindset that tells you that, look, no matter how you're bad right now, it will get better. It puts you in a proactive state to do better, to believe that, to be resilient. Yes, it's not so okay right now. Yes, things are so hard. I'm so stressed, but I can do something about it. Growth mindset.
Growth mindset.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about growth mindset, you just make me feel, somehow, because that is what we look at, when we talk about business, because this is a business and economy show.
Yeah.
So speaking specifically to business, how do you think NLP, neuro-linguistic language programming, can contribute to helping entrepreneurs, business persons, to reposition themselves and their businesses?
Well, see, like you said, if the country is already stressed, and so naturally businesses, especially small and medium-scale businesses are really suffering. So if you have a mindset that tells you that, it can get better, everything is so bad, it makes you fall back, and then you can possibly even have mental health illnesses like anxiety and depression. Now, but when you have a mindset that tells you, now look, how do I do it differently? Another presupposition in NLP is you cannot do the same thing and get a different result. So in order to get a different result, you have to do something different. So it helps to open your options. If I did A, and this is the result I got, and I'm not happy with this result, why don't I try B? Why don't I try C? And you keep trying and trying and trying until you get what you need. And then the ability to believe that, look, separate people from their behavior. If you're in the market, for example, and your business colleagues, your suppliers, and you're having issues with them, and you cannot build rapport. Building rapport is building connection, which is also a technique in NLP. You're in a business environment, you're not alone, you're with other people. So ability to understand that you have to respect other people's map of the world. How they do things and how they see things is different from you, and it's okay. So meet them where they are.
While we were talking in the studio, you made mention of something that map is not the territory.
Yeah, your map is not the territory. It simply means that the way you see the world is unique to you.
Okay.
You are different from me. Where you were brought up, how you were brought up, your upbringing, your environment makes you uniquely you. Where I was brought up is different. And in fact, even if you were brought up in the same place with your brother, you may never see things exactly the same. And it's okay to allow people to be who they are and see things the way they see it. Just respect their view.
I want to come to you on the issue of mental health, because you just referred to it in your previous statement. Yeah. But before I come to you on the issue of mental health, I would like you to speak to these challenges that we face in Nigeria. You talked about the fact that you have your personal home challenges, your children challenges, your in-law challenges, mother-in-law, father-in-law, brother-in-law, village people also chasing you. Yeah. All these challenges. When you now talk about NLP being your words, your thoughts, and your feelings, sometimes sustaining a dynamic thought line or a positive posture could be very, very difficult. How can someone passing through these kind of challenges be able to sustain this kind of thought line?
Like you said, sustaining it is difficult, and it's not possible to sustain it 100%.
Okay.
I think before we started, I had already told you one of the presuppositions in NLP is feedback is failure is feedback. The ability to see that, look, today I'm doing well, I was able to manage this thing well, but yesterday or tomorrow I may not do it so well. It's okay. So coming from a place of empathy and compassion for yourself also helps. Because Nigeria is stressful right now.
Stressful?
People are stressed. I said it earlier. See, because I wear cloth, doesn't mean I'm okay. People are on the street every day. You see people. You see, we're a resilient people.
Yeah.
No matter how you're bad, somehow we'll manage it. Because we have the spirituality, this belief that it will get better. That's why you see one small matter will come, and then somebody will get angry. They will start to fight.
Yeah.
Because the problem isn't that exact problem. No, it's a heap load of problems that you already have. You are a load onto yourself. Paying rent, paying school fees, feeding the family, clothing, NEPA. That's not even going to power supply. That's not even going into fuel. So things are really difficult. So the ability to understand that, look, either you fall into it and wallow in self-pity, or think of the fact that there is a solution to every problem. Okay, this is where I am right now. This is how much I earn. It's not enough. How can I manage it? How can I stretch it? What else can I do to augment my salary?
Exactly.
So it's basically about thinking forward and having a growth mindset, seeing opportunities and not challenges.
Growth mindset, which means that you are willing to expand your horizon, willing to think beyond your borders. But let me quickly also bring you in on this issue. You know, you made mention that failing is not fatal.
Yeah, it's feedback. It's just a feedback.
It's just a feedback.
Yeah.
You know, but we have, you know, certain business persons, you know, entrepreneurs that when they hit a brick wall, you know, sometimes they just give up. Yeah. You know, and sometimes they have this mindset that, you know, you are coming in with a particular idea, a particular product, and you just feel like this product must work or else. What do you say to that kind of mindset?
Well, that's not a growth mindset. That's a fixed mindset. When you don't believe that, when you believe that things must work in a certain way, and if you feel that's it, it's your fault or something, that's not a growth mindset. Is a mindset that tells you that, look, you're going to go out there and give the best you can. It may be welcomed, it may not be. It may be successful, or it may fail at the first trial. But the second, the third, the fourth, or even the 1,000th may work. If everybody had given up at the first trial of anything, I don't think the world would be what it is today. Because I think the story of the person who invented electricity, I think
Thomas Edison.
So if he had given up the first time or the second, even the 10th time, we wouldn't have it perhaps.
Exactly.
So the ability to
he had a trial for about 99 times.
So it was the 100th.
Yes.
So get back up. No matter how you bad reach, get back up and try again. And now saying that, let's be pragmatic and practical about it. It doesn't mean that when things are bad, you're expected to go, oh my God, is that God? No, you are allowed to sulk. You are allowed to wallow in self-pity for a bit. I'm feeling bad.
Even men can cry as well?
Yes, I remember I told my son that. I raised my kids to always believe that it's okay to cry. When my son turned about 17, he came back home and one day and he told me, like, Didi, you said it is okay to cry, but my friend said it's not, that men don't cry. You see how they pour some science person Gary. And I told my son, do you feel pain? He said, yes. Do you think God makes a mistake? He said, no. Well, do you think the tears are there for a reason? He said, yes. So you're allowed to feel it. The emotion you're feeling. If something makes you cry, you're not a mad person. There's something that's hurting. That's why you cried. So it's okay if you failed at something. You can stop for a minute and feel bad about it. You can even bitch about it for a bit.
Exactly.
Then get back up.
You just talked about something again here. You know, it's an interesting conversation. You talk about madness here. Yeah. And I understand with these gigantic challenges that we have as a people, it opens up somebody to madness. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, madness itself, it's
mental health issues.
Madness itself is a mental health issue.
Exactly.
It's psychosis. That's when you start seeing things that are not there and things there. But we have other mental health issues like anxiety and depression and even substance addiction. The underlying cause of most mental health illnesses is stress, chronic stress.
Chronic stress.
Yeah. So we both agree. In this country, it is stressful right now.
Very stressful.
The cost of living in Nigeria is ridiculously high right now, yet salaries haven't increased, purchasing power hasn't increased. So people are just at their wit end. That is why you see people getting angry so easily. The thing where they anger them, no be you.
Yeah.
Now the problem with
that box.
It's just, so it is there. So the ability to understand that, okay, these things happen, find a way to manage it. That's why we don't say you can completely take control of things. No, you cannot, but you can manage it day by day. but understand that, okay, this is happening right now. What can I do? I think most of the time, as a people, we focus more on our problems than the solutions to our problems. When something happens, my watch gets broken. Oh my God, my life has ended. This watch that I bought, how much? And then you wallow for somebody greets you. Oh, excuse me. That week, the next, you are still angry over something that happened last year, 2 years ago, last week. So the ability to understand that, okay, it has happened. I'm not happy. I love this watch, but it's broken. And then you go like,
what's next?
What can I do about it? Should I go to MAP and go and fix it? When I get to MAP, okay, guy, how far now? How can you fix this? Can you fix it? How much? 10K. 10K it took cost. Move to the next. It's just about options. Keep moving. Then finally somebody says, sis, may I tell you the truth though? I cannot repair this watch for you. It's already condemned. Just buy a new one. So either I lie down there, I start crying, oh my God, my life has ended, the watch is broken. Or, okay, I got this watch for 50K. How long can I work? How much can I save in the next 2-3 months to buy another one? You are thinking towards solutions and not focusing on the problem.
So let's look at, because from what you're saying now, mental health state is critical to one's ability to also be open to options and be open to making progress. What is the current state of mental health in Nigeria?
Well, according to WHO, 1 out of every 5 Nigerians has a mental health disorder.
Wow.
So if we are 5 people here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Me, I know I have. I'm not well.
Okay. Yeah. So what is the implication of that?
It simply means many people, and it's funny enough, I keep saying it. This is according to the statistics they have. Most people do not report mental health illnesses. Most people who have even challenges that resemble mental health illness because of stigma attached to it, they either go to the pastor or the imam and they pray it away. So tell me, how accurate is that data? We don't talk about mental health. So people are there who have it, but they don't talk about it.
But they don't talk about it. So generally, that could be a problem in itself.
Yes, absolutely. See, because person wear clothes, they work out for road. Nobody say they final. People are really, really at their wit end. And the shame attached to the mental health does not allow them to show that they need help.
Now, for this kind of issue, it is a national issue.
Absolutely.
And so let's come back to policy, governance, as it regards to, the state of wellness, the state of mental health of Nigerians. But before then, what do you think, just your own opinion? It might not be based on extant hypotheses or extant research, as the case may be. But from what you see of our political leaders, do you think most of them might be having some mental issues as well?
To be honest, not just them. Many of us are not well. Not just the political leaders. You see, there are things that have happened to people that has changed the way they think forever. So, see, I say even me, I'm not well now. And see me, I don't wear clothes, and I'm sitting here talking. So sometimes mental health illness is not necessarily being violent or going crazy, but they are the way you think. Traumatic events that has happened to you that shapes how you think and how you see things. I give an example earlier. Somebody can wake up in the morning, he has a very important meeting or a breakthrough session, or he's going to go for, maybe let's say the day that he's going to be called out as for his primaries, and then he wakes up with this terrible headache and he goes like, oh my God, my village people are after me. It's a mindset. So the way you think, somebody else can wake up and just say, I have a headache, oh my God, let me just take a paracetamol and I'll feel better. So you see, the way we think, it shapes how we even interact with other people. So I really do think, not just our political leaders, many of us are not okay.
Many of us are not okay. So let's now look at what can we do. Do you see any practical approach to providing certain kind of solutions in addressing the mental health issues of Nigerians?
Absolutely. And I think the first thing to do is actually to break the stigma attached to it. We make it a shameful thing. We make it look as if, when you have mental health illness, you are less than other people. So people are ashamed to say they have issues. So if we have more sessions like opportunities like this to talk about mental health, so that people understand that, look, this thing that's happening to me, so it's not just me, and it's okay, it does happen to people. It will help more people to come out and seek for help. So it's basically sensitization, creating awareness.
So, but, institutionally, because from a personal experience, somebody is working in a very notable organization, and you happen to have mental health issues. What should be the responsibility of the organization?
Well, you see, most organizations do not have mental health policies. to be honest.
So that's the point I'm driving at.
Yeah, most organizations. But there's awareness coming up now. I've done, because I remember when I started mental health awareness trainings for organizations, when I offer my services for free at that time, they were like, no, we don't have crazy people here. Again, the stigma attached to mental health. I had to change my topics to workplace wellness and not put mental health inside, so that people understand that it's not about being crazy, it's just about managing your emotions, learning how to manage events in your life. Right? So most organizations, honestly, they don't have policies on mental health. But I can see, I've worked with many organizations who now are becoming more proactive.
Okay.
Especially with their HR departments. They now equip them with the trainings on mental health awareness, on stress management, anger management, so that they can deal and help to deal with the personnel. And also, they also have awareness trainings for them so that they will notice. I've said it before, when you have a member of your organization who has always been in a certain way, who is loving, who is nice, cheerful, like a sanguine, an extrovert, then one day this person becomes mute. He comes to work, he's outdoor, he doesn't talk, he's always sitting in a corner. Of course, everybody has a bad day, so you can take it for that day. Maybe he had a bad day, he had bad news. But if it goes on for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, of course, if you are observant, you know that there's something wrong. So, but you see, again, it comes back to our society again. It is not my business. I don't want to pry into his matter.
Exactly.
But again, if we have HR departments who are very observant and keen, they should be able to go to him and ask, is there anything wrong? Can we help? Or sometimes, like most times, like, let me give an example. There's a teacher in a school who told me that, Coach Didi, how do I deal with this child in my class? He's this fun child, and all of a sudden this term, and I've taught him for over 4 years. Then one term he comes to school quiet, and he no longer talks to anybody. He keeps into a corner. He's aggressive. This is not the child I've known for the last 4 years. What do I do? I said, build rapport. He said, what's that? Build a connection. We hardly ask you what is wrong, because when you sometimes, that's why they could lie to you. So what you do is ask the child, what does the child love doing? So a few weeks later, he called me and said, Coach Titi, it worked. I said, what did you do? He said, I just noticed the boy loves football, basketball. So during break times, I just invite him to the basketball field. We play basketball, and then I take him to the tuck shop. He's a boarding student, and I buy him a drink and biscuits. That went on for about a week. The second week, he began to loosen up. And then finally he said, sir, there's something I need to tell you. The boy had been sexually molested.
Has been molested?
Sexually molested.
So let's look at, how do we now begin to create, you talk about awareness, but beyond awareness, I think there should be some, some form of policy pillars that should be in place, particularly from the Ministry of Health. Do you see anything that is coming from that direction?
To be honest, I cannot say, because my level, I never reached that level. I'm just managing at my level, creating awareness about mental health. But I do know they must have policies.
Okay.
Nigeria, we have a lot of policies. The implementation is the problem.
Exactly.
But I did meet the special advisor to the president on public health or something like that, and I know she's working on something on mental health. Okay,
so what you are advocating is for businesses, because what I'm also looking at, from this conversation, mental health could possibly also impact our ability to be creative and innovative.
Absolutely.
And of course, we're in a generation where creativity is the order of the day.
Yeah.
So how do you think NLP now, in addition to helping us to navigate these challenges, can help our leaders to become better leaders and help our entrepreneurs to become better entrepreneurs?
Now, as leaders, NLP helps you to create awareness of self. Many people do things without even knowing they're doing something wrong. So when you're aware of who you are, your strengths and your weaknesses, some little things cannot get to you. And then when a leader is open to listening, because you see, the thing is that most of our leaders just don't listen. We have emperors rather than leaders. So when you're able to listen to the people around you, your team, build rapport, create a connection, trust within your team, and then the people you lead. Be open to feedback. Not everybody is out to get you. The fact that people criticize you, they are not your enemies. They just simply don't see things the way you see them. Remember, the map is not the territory. Simply because somebody sees what you're doing in a different light doesn't make the person an enemy. Educate the person. Okay, I know you are saying it this way, but please can I explain to you, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm doing. And they will go, and then you actually have a conversation. And then again, if every leadership we've had so far has been doing the same thing and we're having the same result, it simply means something should be done differently, isn't it? So even the same with business. You are running a business. You've been running at a loss. Take a good look at what you're doing.
Exactly.
If you have been doing this thing for the past donkey years and this is the result you are getting, auntie, uncle, you want a different result, you have to do something different.
So is there a way that, because for business people, there is, of course, the fallout of COVID-19, the climate change, and the crisis for us in Nigeria, the insecurity crisis, insurgency crisis, and all that. How can NLP in a way help us, to navigate these problems as well?
Like I said, NLP is basically about self. When you change the way you think, the way you see things, the way you see people, and the meaning you give to what people say or do, it automatically changes everything. Because you come from this place of positivity. Instead of seeing enemies everywhere, village people everywhere, I twitch my eye, you say I was eyeing you. Why? Because that's the meaning you are giving to my twitch. So the ability to see things in a different light. It still comes down to understand that, see, people are different. We will never be the same. I will never see things the way you see it. And that should be okay for you. So ability to see that, be open to feedback, be open to changing things, and having a growth mindset. Don't know that you will fall 1,000 and one time. You can get back 1,002.
So what is the practical application of NLP in terms of, okay, for someone like me now, I want to, apply NLP into this programming, into my business. How do I start?
You come for a session, come and learn it, right?
For free?
For free, yeah. Well, how you would start for me is, I would say, begin to see things, people for who they are without judgment. As a people, we are so judgmental. Georginas and judges everywhere. Somebody is doing one thing. You are not seeing just that. You have read all meanings towards it. So the ability to come from a place of empathy and compassion, which is basically emotional intelligence. Stop judging everything by your own map of the world, by the way you see it. Simply ask questions. We don't ask, we assume.
Exactly.
And we go with the assumption. And people change. Be okay with people changing.
Yeah.
Simply because this person has been this way all this time, and now is this way, it's okay. That's where that person is in his life. But be okay with it. And learning to respond to events. Most times when something happens to people, they go crazy and fight and shout.
Yeah, so let me quickly, interject at this point to ask, a pertinent question. For an average Nigerian, using me as an example, all right, how can I be a bit more into NLP? Because I asked you earlier on about the fact that, it is, some people will say it is easier said than done. I know I'm asking, based on the minds of many people that are watching you right now, it is easier said than done. So what can you tell them, to convince them to say, look, this is working?
Yeah.
What practical example can you give?
Me.
Okay.
The practical example is me. A few years ago, if you had told me I would even sit here and talk about something like this, I would say it's a lie. I was in a dark place in my life and I thought I was done with it. When you hit rock bottom and you feel, oh my God, everybody is out to get you. But then one day I went for a training that changed my whole life, that made me begin to see things differently. To see a cup and know that, yes, it may be a cup to me. It may be a bowl to someone else, and they are correct. So the ability to create a mindset shift, to see things a little different without judgment, and to be okay not being okay. We are we are so fixated with being perfect. Everything must be right. It doesn't have to be right. I'm so okay with mistakes.
I just had a kind of a relief right now, because I think I fall into that bucket.
I did. I used to fall into that bucket. Now I come from a place of empathy. And in fact, believe me, even my kids tell me, oh my God, you've changed. You're much nicer. Because now when my kids do wrong, not that I don't hit them sometimes, and not that I don't scold them or punish them. Now I'm open to listening. And most importantly, when they do something wrong, I ask them why. Why did you do it? And they go like da 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 and say, okay, so what did you learn from it? How will you do something different or something better? And when they make a mistake, I tell them, okay, you made a mistake. How can you make it right? That mindset, believe me, it's life-changing. And I don't use it just for them. I use it for myself. There are times we do something, and even you say, I say, oh my God, I don't fall my hand. Even me, I know say I fall my hand. And it's okay. I don't feel the need to be perfect. I don't feel the need to get everything right. I'm okay with mistakes. Every day I make a mistake, and I'm okay with that.
So there was something you were trying to, a picture you were trying to paint when when we were preparing for this show. You talked about look around you.
Yeah. one of the things, the first thing that happened to me when I went for the training in NLP was that I was in a room, and then the coach said, count the things that are black in this room. And we started counting the table, the chair, somebody's chair.
Can you tell the viewers to count what is black in where they are?
Wherever you are right now, just imagine, think of the things that are around you. You are watching the TV, so maybe there's something black there. There's a table there, maybe there's a phone and a cup or wristwatch. Just count the things that are around you. How many do you have?
I have like 5.
Somebody maybe has 10, 20. Yeah. What if I told you that there are way much more black things right there? In fact, infinite number. Because think of the people around you while you are seated there. Everybody has hair on their head. Can you count each strand of hair?
No.
Can you count the strands of hair on your eyebrow?
No.
Your eyelashes, your beard, your skin? So that was, for me, it was mind-blowing because I had never seen things that way, because we're all superficial.
Yes.
Think black things around you. You just start to count the things you can see. So that's how NLP works. It makes you think
of things that
expand your thinking, expand the boundaries of your thinking. It's mind-blowing.
Wow, that is very interesting. So could there be something that we could do as a nation? Because from what you are saying, NLP could become an important aspect of our national life if we must begin to make certain progress, especially as it has to do with our political leaders. Because again, you pointed out here that if we have been doing the same thing
over and over again,
the same result, and we're getting the same result, and we want a different result, because the same result that we are getting currently is not what we want. So how can we integrate this into our national life, and particularly amongst our political leaders?
I think it's simply with a growth mindset. Simply because people tell you what you're doing is not working, they are not your enemies. We are quick to see critics as enemies. How about you listen to them and say, okay, this is not working, what can we do different? And even when you have failed at something, it's not the end of the world. People fail and then they succeed. So be okay with failure. I think that's it. Most people don't want to admit they have failed at something. What's wrong with failing at something? So having an open mind, a growth mindset, so that you can understand that, okay, this didn't go right, this is not how I wanted it to go. How can I make it different? How can I make it better? And then build rapport. Don't be an emperor. Most of our leaders are lords.
Yeah.
What they say
Laws of the manor.
That is just it. And most of the people around them are even sycophants. They cannot tell them the truth.
Yeah.
So they go, whatever Oga says, that's what they will follow. So the ability to have a growth mindset and have enough emotional intelligence to allow the people around you to speak to you, and then you listen to them.
Thank you very much, Coach Didi. We'll keep, bringing you back to share with us on this neuro-linguistic language programming and how we can actually leverage it in our own individual lives and, of course, our national life. We couldn't get Dr. Godfrey Ajayi Sunday on the show due to technical issues, but we would have loved him to also bring in his perspective as an entrepreneur of repute into the conversation. But again, this Market Movers, where we bring you individuals and institutions that are shaping the market. We'll be wrapping up the show for today at this point, but come tomorrow, we'll come with you with another insightful topic. And until then, stay blessed.